honored training. Her name is Tara Allridge, and I actually got to meet her. It was probably like a little over 2 years ago now at my first, or maybe a year, I don't know, time runs together. It was my very first retreat, and Jade Hooper hosted it. I worked my hiney to get off to get there, and I met her there, and we had so many really good conversations, and she's just such an amazing person, and she's overcome so many things since she got started with her business. And I realized that I typically like to have super hype Zooms, and I love like pouring into y'all and being super excited, but I do realize that like having those conversations are important on how to get through the hard times, how to persevere, how important consistency is. Like there's so many things that go into this business that are not always like beautiful and rainbows and sunshine. And I want to be able to have, people like Tara to share their story with you. So I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to let Tara introduce herself and share her story with us, because we were just so excited to meet her. So make sure that you stay off your phone. You can take an hour off of your phone to get poured into. So stay off your phone, turn your cameras on, and make sure that you give her your undivided attention. So Tara, you should be unmuted.
Howdy, howdy.
Hi. Okay, you can start by just introducing yourself.
Sure, no problem. So as Cheyenne said, I am Tara Allridge. I have been with It Works. This year will be 6 years. Holy stinking moly. I think I joined the typical reason just for an extra $200 to $300 a month. And here I am almost 6 years later and being able to bring in a full-time income. So I kind of promoted pretty quickly. I was able to quit my full-time job within 6 months. A year after that, I was able to retire my husband from his full-time job, making 4 times as much as he did as a plumber, which plumbers make pretty good money. And wham, bam, shabam, we ended up having a baby. That's what happens when you're at home all day long together with your hubs. So we've been able to do so much. Like when I joined, we literally had $5 in our bank account, like $5. And 6 months being able to quit my job, retire my husband a year later, paid off all of our debt. We were able to renovate our entire house with cash, and we had bought it, and it was like, we had to do it all the way down to the stud. So everything, plumbing, electric, all of that we were able to do with cash and go on like some bomb vacations. Like vacations are like my love language. So I would rather go without to be able to go on vacations. And we've been able to travel the world. Actually, when Ezra was 5 months old, we traveled to Thailand and Bali for a month and was able to work my business there, paid everything in cash before we even left. And it's just like, it's because I said yes. It's because I said yes to this exact thing that you said yes to. And I never had experience. I never knew what the heck I was doing. And in fact, I joined without an enroller. She signed me up and never once spoke to me again. And 2 weeks ago, she signed up as my loyal customer. So I didn't have any idea what I was doing. I had no training. I taught myself with YouTube. And it wasn't until like almost 5 months into the business, Ashley reached out to me. She's like, hey, who are you? What are you doing? You're doing really good. I was like, hi, I'm Tara. Nice to meet you. So it's like, if you ever say like, no one's helping me, no, girl, stop it. You got so much training, you don't even know what to do with yourself if you just want it bad enough and you look and you sneak onto Zooms and you do what you can to like be squeaky, like type stuff into YouTube, find it. You find all the answers you need. So yeah, that's a little bit of my story.
I'll never forget when we were at that retreat and Jade was like, yeah, we were just looking through first time rank achieves and saw Tara as triple diamond. We're like, who is this girl? Like, I think that's so crazy. And I tell my team all the time, I'm like, be grateful for all the training that you have, because you could have been like Jade, where you got enrolled and was told that you sold wraps on Groupon and then got ditched. So there's so many resources here. So I know that when we were talking, you had actually, we were kind of talking about rebuilding, and there was someone there on your team that was on your team, and you were just kind of talking about the things in your journey that you had gone through, of the ups and downs. And so could you kind of share a little bit about that happened in your business wise?
Yeah. So I feel like I kind of started on a fairy tale that like nothing bad was happening. Everything was good. I was growing so fast and it was effortless. Like it really was effortless. I didn't really have trials in the beginning of my business because I worked my stinking tail off and I built pretty much my team. And then my team was like, we're actually having to work now. Kind of don't want to do that. And little by little, all my leaders left. All my leaders left. To this day, I think I have 2 originals from when I started. And it was about 2 years ago, every single one of my leaders on my team left. They took their teams with them. They went to other companies and left me high and dry and like treating me like I was garbage. And so that was like a really big blow to not only my ego, but my heart, because I give so much to my team and I love them so much. And like I built genuine friendships. So for them to not just leave, but to leave in that kind of manner, take their entire teams. And then I would see these god awful posts about the business and leadership, and it really hurt. Like it was gut wrenching. And I love real hard. Like I love real hard. So to see that, it was like a personal slap to my face. And it was really hard to get back up from that. Like I felt like that was my calling to like call it quits and to stop right then and there, because my heart was ripped out and it was stomped into a million pieces. And I was like, how do I keep going when these people that I poured into for so long, like, are taking their entire teams and leaving me behind? So it took a lot of stinking soul searching during that part. And I was like, gosh, like, what the heck? What do I do? And my husband, he would just look at me and he like put his 2 hands on my face and he's like, you built an awesome team without them before. You can build again. What do you have to lose? I'll start working again, bring in some more paychecks so you don't feel the stress, and you keep going and doing what you're good at and what you love. Like, this is what you love. What else are you going to do? And I was like, you know what? You're right. You're right. Like, what else am I going to do? Like, I don't love anything else. This is what I love, and this is my baby, and this is what I built. He's like, those people have no right to take what you've worked so hard for. So I was like, you're right. Let's keep going. And for real, guys, for real, I have a plus team. Like the most incredible girls on my team now. Like we are like besties for the resties. We love each other so stinking much. And it's like we hype each other. I'm like this close to going presidential. And like my team, like, you're going presidential. I'm getting gifts like every day. And they're like, you got this, you got this, you got this. It's like these girls will have my back forever. So it's like you lose some stuff that you feel like is the worst thing ever. And then you're giving something way more in return, just because you got to keep going. You got to keep pushing, and the good stuff comes.
I was going to say, I heard from the little birdie a couple of weeks ago that you were going presidential.
Really good. I'm freaking out.
And that just blows my mind because, guys, she just told you that she lost everyone on her team. I mean, how long did it take you to go triple?
A year and a half.
Okay, yeah, so she built 2 triple in a year and a half, had all these strong leaders. They decided that this wasn't their path and they went somewhere else, and we have to pray people in and pray people out all the time. And she felt defeated and she was at rock bottom, and she literally, thank God for your husband, man. He's the best. And he told her to stay and look at the team that she has now. That team that she originally had wasn't the team that she was meant to have to go presidential. Because imagine if she would have went presidential and then lost them at that point. Like the fact that she lost them earlier is probably the biggest blessing she ever had, because now she's going presidential with an A+++ team. And it's amazing to watch. And I think I've just, been watching from the sidelines this whole time and hearing, the things that you've gone through, and just watching you get back up is just so incredibly inspiring. And that's why I wanted to have you on here, is because people go through life every day, and it's really hard when they feel like they're doing it alone. And it's really hard when they're like, well, why is everyone else having success and people just left my team? Or why is everyone else having success and this is happening in my life? So I know not only did you have hardships in your business, but you've had hardships in your life too. And I know a lot of girls on our team can relate to you recently. And so I would love for you to just kind of tell us a little bit about what's happened in your life as well, outside of your business, that you've also had to conquer.
Yeah. So I've like said to my husband, like, I feel like Job right now, because his whole life like went to crap in a very short amount of time. And this year, like, I was like, yeah, 2020, like, I'm so excited. I literally woke up with the flu the day one of 2020. And then 4 days later, my son got sick. And then we're like, all right, well, we've got this vacation plan. We'll feel better by then. We went. One day in vacation, I got a call from our sitter that our dog was stolen, and they got it on video camera. Yep, my dog got stolen, got on video camera, police never did anything. And literally 9 days later, after my dog got stolen, I got a call. It was the day before I was supposed to be flying out for conference. So this is still January in 2020. I got a call that my dad was really sick. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. And I was really struggling within myself. I was like, all right, what do I do? Like, is my sister being dramatic? Is my dad really sick? Do I go to conference and go do that? Because I've never missed a conference since I've joined this business. Like, what do I do? And I looked at my husband and something in my gut just said, all right, I need to go. And my dad ended up being in ICU. We flew out that day. I got a call at 5. We flew out at 1 o'clock. I went directly to the hospital. I got there around midnight and I slept at the hospital. I was in my airport clothes, didn't brush my teeth. I had nothing with me. I went straight to the hospital and stayed the night with my sister in a bed about that big or in a chair. We slept there. I was talking with my dad, singing him his favorite songs, dancing and telling him my favorite stories. 10 o'clock in the morning, he passed away. So it was very, very abrupt. The most traumatic thing you can ever see, because I didn't get to talk to him. He was already intubated, so I didn't get to talk to him. I just held his hand and telling him all the good things that he made me, the person that he made me, and why I'm so strong. So I lost my dad January 30th. Came back home a month later. Thanks to this business, I was able to go out that day, spend a month with my family, help cook, help clean, help hold my mama. And my family lives in Oklahoma, so I live in Maryland. That's quite a distance. And my other brother, who does not live in state, he missed it. He missed seeing my dad. And he only got to talk to him on the phone. And the second that my brother walked out of the room with my other brother, Micah, on the phone, my dad flatlined. He was waiting for all of his kids. There's 6 of us. And it's just crazy to go through something like that. I'm only 31 years old. I shouldn't have to say goodbye to my dad. And it all happened so fast. We got back home. My son got whooping cough. And so he was sick. And I thought he was going to die because he couldn't breathe. And I'm told to not go to the hospital because coronavirus. Can't take him to the hospital because, it's only for emergencies. And I'm watching my child not be able to breathe, sleeping 2 hours a night for about a month and a half. So I went through crap. And that was by March. That's March. And I've gone through all of that in the meantime. And I kept working my business. I kept working my business through that. There were days where it was so hard, and I would tell my leaders, like, I'm having a really, really hard time, and I just need a sad day. And, like, I would get amazing messages from them, and I wouldn't reply, but just reading them. I never try to act like someone I wasn't on my Instagram. I was always honest, like, hey, life sucks right now. Like, it really sucks. And then I would be like, but I'm thankful that I get to create a full-time income doing what I do, grieving when I am, because no other job would allow me this. And I was just really transparent and allowed myself to feel the feelings that I needed to feel, be strong when I felt strong, be weak when I wasn't, be happy when I wanted to laugh. And I never just forced myself to feel something I didn't want to. But again, like everything, I worked through it all. And because I worked through it all and I pushed through it all, I'm this close to presidential this year, when I've had such crap, like literally dumps on dumps of the most stinkiest manure on top of my head. I feel like for 2 years and it's still happening because I don't quit. I'm so stinking stubborn. So stinking. There's times I'm like, Tyler, this is the time. This is when I quit. This is when it's over. And he's like, stop playing. And he's like, I'm like, yeah, you're right. I could never pull the trigger. Like, but I'm just going to say it out loud. So it's like you say things, do things, but you just keep getting back up. You keep filling your pitcher back up with the love that's poured into you by other people that are stronger than you at the moment. And you allow that to happen, because at times people are going to need you to be strong when they're not. So it's okay to be weak. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to have problems. It's okay to not be okay. But just reach out when you feel that way.
We just love you. Thank you so much for being so vulnerable. I know it's hard, and I just think it's crazy how many people do relate to you and how many times, I mean, just even in the Lifers page, which is our Triple Diamond Above page, you see, I posted the other day about who has lost family because we had some girls on our team that went through that, and it was just, I mean, pages and pages and pages of people that related to that, and just people that kept getting back up and getting back up, and it's not easy. And you see even just minor things in your life. I mean, just think about, maybe not all the things that have happened to Tara. She's had a wild year, but even the days that you go through something, minor, you can't compare struggles. Like, a struggle is a struggle, and whatever you're feeling is what you're feeling. And it's hard, to get back up. And there are days that you don't want to do anything at all, but just lay in a hole and just exist. But there are days that you can't, especially if you're a mom, you have a little, you have to take care of. She had a baby she had to take care of through all of this. She had a family she had to take care of. And I couldn't imagine even having to take care of my own self. And so can you kind of talk about the power of consistency through all of this? I mean, that's truly how you are where you are, is because it was like every day you got back up and you fought a little harder and you're consistent every day.
I feel like at this point it's muscle memory. Like, it's just like routine. Like, I thrive in routine. Like, I do the same things every day. So like, not doing it was like, something feels weird. And one thing that I realized in days that I didn't do my routine, I did nothing of value. Like, nothing of value. So I'm like, I could have been like doing something amazing with my time. No, homegirl sitting on the couch with a bag of popcorn, because I love popcorn, just sitting there watching Netflix. Like, on days when I didn't feel like doing anything, I'm like, I just wasted an entire day. Like, I probably watched an entire series. Like, why didn't I do what I needed to do on the days that I felt like I just had too much in me emotionally? And I'm like, that was dumb. That was like dumb. I just wasted an entire day and like didn't do anything of value. So doing the same thing, routine, every single day, it just becomes muscle memory to the point like you don't even have to think about it anymore. It's just easy. Moments that are feeling really good in your life and you're like, okay, it's quarantine, my hair is done, my makeup is done, and I'm gonna put on a cute outfit. Get a lot done because your brain is like with it. So go ahead and pre-write posts. That's what I do. Like, a pre-write post. I have things ready to rock and roll. I set things up for myself that I'm like eager about when I'm feeling my best. Like, all right, can I interview tomorrow at 3? Are you available? And like, I set all these things up to force myself to do it, knowing that there's going to be days where I'm not feeling good. But if I've got it scheduled and someone's depending on me, it will happen. I won't back out. I won't stop. Like, I love people to need me and I want to be needed. So I put myself in that position. But yeah, it's like, it's literally, it's muscle memory. The more you do, the better you get at it, the faster you get at it, the easier it gets, and you just keep rocking and rolling.
Yes, and that's so freaking good. So I know, like, obviously when you lost your leaders, so this happens to all of us. Like, literally all of us have lost. I've lost double diamonds, I've lost diamonds, I've lost all the people, and I know that you have. And so I wanted to kind of ask you too, when you lost those leaders, I think the feeling that we all get is like, I do not want to start over. Like, you just have that feeling of like looking at the mountain you just climbed and looking back and being like, I gotta do that again. Like, I gotta climb the whole freaking thing again. Like, shoot. And I think that's where people give up. They feel so defeated. The things that they just built, even as a Ruby, even the team that you built, just talking to anybody, how did you start over?
I went to the people on my team that stayed and I was like, they're gone. We're going to forget they ever existed. You're the new them. And I was like, so how's it feel to knowing that you're going to go double diamond soon? And they're like, I'm Ruby. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Like, I would go through, because I've always had good communication with my team. So I'm like, I've already got my eye on someone on every leg, just in case something cray happens. And I'm like, we're going to pick back up when we run together. Let's get it going. So I picked from each leg just that person that I just love and adore, and worked with them really hard. I gave them the chart and I was like, this is what we're working for. Let's get it. And they're like saying their top line. They're like, yeah, who were they? Yeah, let's go. And so we just like picked up our bootstraps and just got to walk in. And it's not a good feeling, like feeling like you're letting those people go that like left you behind, but it's either you choose to allow those people that left to destroy your business, or you decide like that's right, it's my business. It is my family's income. I choose what I allow myself to do or don't do. And I just chose to keep going, even when it was hard and I would be crying and feeling so defeated, like so stinking defeated. Like I loved some of these girls that left, like literally wanted them to move in with me because they were having a hard time financially. And I was like, you can move in with me. Like, I love you. Like, I would do anything for you. And they did that stuff to me. So I was like, I wouldn't even say heart. I couldn't even say their names because it hurt so bad. And I still kept going with the team underneath, building. And now the girl that left as a diamond. And now the girl underneath her is this close to going triple this month, a year and a half later. So I'm like, you dumb girl, you don't even know what you left. Like, you just threw away everything. And then I had 2 girls that were triple diamonds and left, and I built brand new. One of the girls that I signed last year, I got her to double diamond in 4 months and put her on that same leg. And so I just kept it going. It's just crazy. It's just crazy what you do when you set your mind to something and you don't allow yourself to be defeated. In the big picture, you can have a defeated day, you can have a bad moment, but knowing that the end goal, the end game is never changing.
Yes. So glad that you said that, because I was going to say that. Like, there's the journey of the way that you get to that end goal, the way that you get to Hollywood. I always share the Hollywood story of driving your car to Hollywood. People are going to get out. People are going to get in. You're going to get flat tires. You're going to need an oil change. You're going to need stuff for gas. Like, there's going to be a lot of things you're going to have to do, but the end goal doesn't change. Where you're going never wavers. You know, Tara knew that she was made for this business. She knew this was her passion, and any of the bumps that were coming along the way, you know, now through going through those things, how have they prepared you for how you're building now? Like, do you feel like you build differently? Do you feel like you have a different perspective? Like, did it help you? Did it change you, grow you, all those things?
I think it helped me just have my eyes open a little bit and not be so naive that just because you love someone that they're going to stay. And it doesn't mean that it's like, it's not a bad nor a good thing. It's just, I'm not allowing myself to get so emotionally attached that I allow myself to falter. So I've always been honest with my new girl, saying like, hey, I went through some crap with the team that I had before, and I want open and honest communication with you always. When you are having a bad day, I want to hear it. When you are having a freaking bomb day, I want to hear it. Like, I want to celebrate all the wins with you. I want you texting me. I don't want messenger. I want text. I want voice message. I want you calling me. I want you FaceTiming me. So just like, I want to celebrate all the things and allow them to have their bad moments too, and come to me and talk to me about it. If there's something in my leadership that they don't like, I want them to feel comfortable talking to me about it, because I'm never going to bite their heads off. I'm never going to be mean. I'm always going to thank them for being the honest self. So not that I didn't do some of those things before, but some of my other leaders wouldn't let me in. My first round, this is like my 3rd round of leaders. My first round of leaders, they wouldn't let me in. One of the girls had a block because she was being all shady crap. And now it's like, I've got like these girls that are truly my friends, and I love them to bits, and I let them know how much I love them all the time. And I'll send them a voice message like, you mean the world to me. You're one of my very best friends, and I'm so thankful that this business brought you to me. And I just cheer them on every step of the way and let them know that I'm there no matter what. And I guess that's not so different than some of the other ways that I had done things with people, but I also let them know that I've been hurt and I've been scarred, and I never want to experience that again. So don't ever do that to me, or I'm going to come to their house and like slash their tires. Like, I know where you live.
I love it. And I do think, like, you know, we have to go through those things. Maybe not, hopefully, to the extent of what you took for the team on that side. But I truly think that all of the things that you go through in your business, you had to go through those things to become who you are now. Like, you, maybe not all those things, but a lot of those things shaped you into the leader you are, that have allowed you to, you know, be vulnerable and be open to your team. And a lot of times, you know, all the things that I went through in my business along the way of losing leaders and, you know, trying to change myself and change the way that I lead and change the culture I was creating, like, all of those things I had to go through those things in order to be who I am. And to, you know, and so I think a lot of times, especially as new distributors, like maybe even something as, you know, like friends not supporting you or family not supporting you. I mean, I don't know if maybe you've gone through that at all, but yeah, okay. Can you talk to those people?
That's little things.
Exactly. I was going to call it little things, but I didn't want them to feel like that was a little problem, because I remember being that person. I remember when I first joined and people having so many things to say about me. And so maybe speak to those people.
Yeah. So my brother, I joined and I'm like all jazzed. I'm visiting my family in Oklahoma. And one of the first things he says to me, how does it feel knowing that you're scamming hardworking families from their money? And I was like, hi to you too. Really good to see you. And I'm just like, how is it scamming them when they're choosing to buy amazing products that I spend my own money on and get results with? I don't scam anyone. They willingly buy them because they're good. And it wasn't until like I started doing really good in my business that he was like, I guess it did turn out pretty good for you, huh? And I definitely had those friends that are just like, I'm too good for MLMs. Like MLMs are so sketchy. I'm like, and yet you're the one always complaining on your social media how you hate working your 12 to whatever million shifts as a nurse, and now you up in all corona for the world. And I'm like, I'm at home going tick, 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 making more money than you. Okay, so it just comes to a point where you just let it go one ear and directly out the other, and there's no like looping it around, letting it swirl around your brain. Just like let it go. People be hating. I swear that is what it is. One of my good friends, like right before the crap hit the fan, she invited me to Starbucks to have this really nice time, and I'm so excited because like I'm a mom and I never get out of my house. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I got all cute, and we're having this good time talking at Starbucks, checking in with each other, and then she like whammies me, and so now I'm crying in Starbucks. So embarrassing with my matcha green tea latte, trying to hide my face. And she's like, yeah, so I'm having a really hard time with what you're doing. It seems like you're really assaulting me as a mother. Excuse me? Like, what the heck are you talking about? So, like, even this is like a good 5 years into my business. This is like in December. And I got my homegirl bringing me into Starbucks for me to cry for the whole world and not even like letting me know there's any kind of issue that I'm prepared for like comebacks. I'm like, oh, yeah, well. So I'm just doing like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry it made you feel that way. I don't know what to do. And then it's like after the fact, I'm like telling my husband, like, yeah, and I should have said this and I should have said like that. And you just don't. You just gotta let it go, because like she's so sad that her life, I'm sorry, her life is genuine garbage. And I have, again, an A++ life where I've got the man of my dreams, literally going to be married 10 years and the best child ever. And I get to be with both of them debt free and do whatever the heck we want. And she's there sitting on the sidelines, and the only thing she can do is like, who's the girl that used to buy like everything on clearance and now you're showing up on your Instagram with a Gucci belt? I'm like, first of all, why are you judging me like that? Second of all, I bought it used on Poshmark. Third of all, mind your own business. Like, that's what she came at me with. Like, people are so just, they find one thing that they try to tear you up about, and it ain't their business and it ain't yours either. So you just keep on a scrolling, you keep on a posting, you keep on a working, because those people are going to keep hating anyway while you keep bringing in a paycheck. That's all I got to say about that.
Amen. And it's hilarious that you say that about your Gucci belt, because suddenly when you start making money and like your family that doesn't make money, that has like the whole victim mindset of like life is always happening to them, which is like my whole family. It was like I started having success in this business and they were like, money's changed you. And they brought up a Gucci belt, and I was like, first of all, it's from Amazon, so right, okay? Money has not changed me. I still shop at TJ Maxx, and my home decor in my house cost me like a fraction of what most people would spend, okay? I still shop on
Yeah.
But guys, I remember being back in high school, and I really wanted to talk about this because I actually had 2 distributors text me before we got on this that were like, well, you know, so-and-so's being mean to me, or so-and-so made a post, or, you know, people are swiping up on this and blah, blah, blah. People will always hate on things you're doing. You could wear a plaid shirt tomorrow that someone doesn't like, and they're sure going to tell you about it. Have you ever been on TikTok or Instagram and you click on somebody that's famous? The top comments are people that are hating on them for whatever they're doing. I mean, go to Carrie Underwood's Instagram. Carrie Underwood is a saint, a literal saint. And you can go to her Instagram and click on her last Instagram picture, and people are hating all over her. You can't win. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter how happy you are. People will always hate on what you have that they don't. I promise you. And so if you're confident, like, I can guarantee you that if someone goes to Tara right now and is like, oh my God, you're a part of one of those. She's like, yeah, I'm a part of one of those. Can I help you? Like, you're just so confident. And I know that a lot of us are that same way just because I know what I have my hands on. And I am proud of what I do. And I know that, like, I change lives for a living. And I get to say that proudly. And I mean, I will wear that like a badge of honor. I don't know what like the Boy Scout thing is. I think that's Hunger Games. I don't know.
Hunger Games works all the time.
But I will wear that crap. Like, give me a tattoo, I'll do it. Okay. Because I love what I do. And I'm so proud of that. And that's something I learned. Okay. It was hard to overcome that. And I'm not saying that all these things that Tara's overcome, it's not easy, but it's something that you wear as a badge of honor because you know what it's done for you. You know that it's changing lives every day. You get the text messages from your team when they get paychecks that they don't know where they would be without the business. You get the text from your team when they say, I just bought diapers for my baby and otherwise I don't know how I would have done it. You get the text from your team where the bills are paid, when the cars are bought, when the homes are bought, when the debt's paid off, when the credit card's cut in half. You get those texts, not the people that have stuff to say about you. All those people that had something to say about Tara, she's still living her A++ life, right? I'm living in my home, and people still to this day say things about me, especially on Twitter. That's why I don't have it. But people still tweet about me, and people share it with me like I care, but it's like, you know, you're doing this for you. You're not doing this for anybody else. You're doing this for you and for your family, and maybe for the family you don't have yet. And maybe you're running from everything that you know that you don't want, and that is why I joined this business. Because I was running from the life that I grew up in that I knew I didn't deserve. So I had
one thing that I say to that, Cheyenne.
Yeah.
Okay, so like we were saying, like, people make fun and all that kind of stuff. One thing that always resonates with me, and I don't know if it will be you guys too, but we know that Jesus now was the Messiah. His own siblings didn't believe he was the Messiah and made fun of him. And it's always the people in the town that you live, or the people that are closest to you, that give you the most hate. And then these random people that you don't know, like, they're putting down palm trees for him. They're making these roadways. They're like, yes, Jesus, come touch me. And it's these people that you don't know. And that's the same even in my life. The people that I was closest to, like, hated on me, made fun of me, put posts on Instagram, like, all these things. But people who had no idea who I am love me, are kind, send me the nicest messages, and they become some of my dearest friends. So, like, don't worry about the chirpers in the background. Just because they know you, they feel like they have the right to tell you about it. They don't. And you don't have the right to accept it either. And you can just say thank you for that, but no more, not again. I will block you, and I will not care 1 second about it. So keep it to yourself or keep it moving.
Yes, I think sometimes in my new distributor Zooms, I say that, and I'm like, look, you get told no, but Jesus got told no. Okay? People told Jesus no. So you just have to know that where you're going is where you're going, and you're going to hit speed bumps. You know, and I say this to my team all the time. If you know the speed bumps are going to happen, you're going to be able to go over them gracefully. You're going to slow down, put your foot on the brake a little bit, go over them, hit the gas. But if you don't know a speed bump's going to happen and you act as if your business is just great, like Tara, when she first got started, she's like, man, I'm a unicorn. This is great. Sure. The checks are coming in. And then that speed bump hit, and it blew the breath out of her, because she's like, what the heck? I did all of this, and now I'm back where I started, and this isn't what I did all this for. So lastly, I know that we always say your why is what keeps you going. You've always got to know why you're doing this. And so when all these things happened, it was probably your why that kept you going as to what you wanted. And so can you remind people about the importance of knowing what you're here for?
Oh, for sure. Like, and I feel like mine is definitely morphed as I've gone on. First, it was to get more than $5 in my bank account. And then it was like, holy crap, I'm making a lot of money. Okay, so I'm going to retire my husband now because that's what we do in this business. I've seen people do it. So yeah, definitely want to retire him. And then he finished every project in the house and he was just sitting around. I was like, I kind of want to go back to work. So let's change that. And then we got pregnant and I was like, oh, it's definitely to stay home with my son. And that honestly has not changed, but it's also like, it's shifted a little bit now too, since my dad died. I'm just like, all right, I need to get my mom in a good house. I need to get her house sold. I need to get finished, fixed up so she can get it on the market. And I need to give my mom the life that she deserves. So it's over time, it's continued to morph and morph and morph. And it keeps getting higher and higher and higher and more attached to my heart with each thing. And each of those things were important. But it can't just be something willy-nilly. It can't just be like, I just really want to be able to go buy anything I want at TJ Maxx, because that really is going to go by the wayside. It has to be something seriously attached to your heart that when you pull on it, it pulls at your heart too. And I've been without TJ Maxx for 2 months and I'm not crying. But if I was like, I mean, I want to sometimes, but like it's something with my family. It's helping others. It's doing more for others that I love the most. That really keeps me focused and going.
That is such a good perspective, because I think a lot of times we have stuff that's, I mean, when you join it, so surface level. Oh, I want gas money. Oh, I want grocery money. Oh, I want formula money. Like, it's such little things. And then when you reach that goal, the last Zoom we did, if you were on it last Sunday, I talked about how there's always a goal in this business, always. Whether you're promoting or you're charting or you're pushing for a fast start bonus or you're pushing to enroll a distributor, like whatever it is, you're always pushing for a goal. And so when it comes to your why, like your why is such a small thing when you get started, and then it starts evolving. And it's like, okay, well, 6 months after I joined, my dad lost his job. So then it was like, okay, well, how am I going to even go to college, and how are his bills going to get paid? Oh, me, his business, hello, boom, this is why it's here. Started paying his bills. Right after he got in a car accident and totaled his car, couldn't afford to buy a new one. I bought it. Then, I mean, it's just one thing after another of all these things that I've just been able to do from my why constantly evolving. And so you went from, okay, I got $5 in my account, I'm in survival mode. I don't care what my why is, just give me some money. And that's where it starts for most of us, because we're backed into a corner. And then you get that and you're like, oh my gosh, if I did that, what more can I do? Okay, well, I'm just going to buy a house. I'm going to do all these. I mean, y'all are always doing crazy projects and you're just living this life. And it's all because of that first initial, I'm terrified and I need money. That's like, I feel like fear almost has to drive us to those points and get us to a position where we're like, okay, I can dream now. I can be comfortable. I can cross these things off my dream board. So I had somebody that had messaged me a question. So I know that we, along the ways we have failures and we, come up short a lot. And so how would you get over the fear of falling short when it comes to promotion? Like how to get back up and be like, okay, I fell short last month. I'm going to do it this month. Or maybe having a fear of shouting out something you've been pushing for so long.
Yeah, I missed triple 3 months in a row. And I was like, gosh dang it. I was so close. Oh, what happened? But I knew every single second that I pushed, I was that much closer. And then I was that much closer. And I was that much closer. And if I just allowed myself to be like, I didn't hit it, so I'll obviously never hit it, I would not hit it because I would be sad and not allow myself to work. So I just all right, girl, let's figure this out. We're going to get it next month. I know we're going to get it. And then I fell short again. And then they extended bonuses again. And I was like, this is it. This is the month. And I just never, ever quit. I don't allow myself to feel sorry for myself. And I just remind myself, you know what? I'm so glad that I put in this work, even though I didn't get it, because now that's going to get me that much closer to getting it for sure this month. And it's okay to shout things out and then be like, y'all guys, I missed it, but who's going to be with me when I get it this month? You best believe it. You're going to see me do it this month. So it's okay. Just be like, hey, I'm human. I can't predict the future. I can't predict what's going to happen, but I can keep going and keep shooting for it.
Yes, I completely agree with that, because for a year and a half, I shouted out going ambassador, and every single month I'm like, okay, all right, maybe not month, but it's this one. We're going to do it this time. And then I missed it again. And I'm like, shoot, I'm really embarrassed. Like, I make another one of those over graphics where I like put the month above my head and I like throw my arms up and I'm like, yay, this is the month. And then it doesn't happen again. And I'm like, gosh, do I do it again? Do I shout it out again? And it's just this cycle, but it's like your team sees you get back up and rise every single time. Your team sees you shout this out and consistently have that hope of what you're going for and what you're shooting for, and you're paving the way every single time. And when you fall short, what do you show them? You get back up. Because it's not what is our timeline, and I preach this to you all the time, it's not in your time. Your plan is there, and it's set for you, and you've just got to do the things for him to match your steps. And so 110% love that so much. Don't be afraid. Just keep shouting out, because of what you're showing your team and what you're showing your potentials and what you're showing yourself is that you keep getting up and you fight every single time. Okay, so if you could go back to when you joined. I love it when people ask me this question and I'm like, oh shoot, okay. If you could go back to when you first joined and tell yourself one thing, what would you tell yourself?
Stop posting so many before and after pictures. I joined when we post 7 of those a day. There was no Instagram story. So bad. No. I sorry, was the question what would I do different or what would I tell myself?
What would you tell yourself? Just whatever comes out of your mouth.
It's gonna be more than your own wildest dreams. Like, I know you saying $200, you'll get that in your first 3 weeks, so don't worry, boo. I just like hold on so stinking tight, and you're gonna help not just you but your entire family. Like, I'm like super poor in Oklahoma, one of 6 kids, never had anything. So like telling myself what I was going to do for my family, buying 3 of my siblings' cars, remodeling my parents' house every time I'd go down to Oklahoma, that would like make my past self literally sharp, like for real on myself. Like, there's no way. Like, I have $5. How the heck are you going to tell me I'm doing all that? Like, what? So that's what I would tell myself. Like, you're about to do so many amazing things. Just keep your head to the ground and don't let off the gas.
She has not let off the gas, people. She's had the brakes. They've tried to put the brakes on her, and she said, nope, not today, Satan. I am putting my foot on the gas here. We're grinding no matter what happens. So guys, who was inspired by this Zoom? I freaking love Tara, and now you all get to know her. I was so excited because I was like, look, she's going to have a great story, but now everybody gets to know Tara because she's the queen. But I put her Instagram in the comments, so y'all can go follow her because she's not only just fun, but she's so special, and she's so hardworking, and she's so stinking consistent. And so guys, I challenge you that the moments that you feel like you can't keep going, get up and rise. Get up every single time, because the life that's on the other side of that, you're already doing what most people won't do. You taking a leap into this business and working this business is what majority of people won't do. Most people just sit and sulk in their sadness and in the life that they hate, instead of stepping out of their comfort zone and doing the thing that they want in their life for the things that they know they can do. And you're already doing that. So just keep doing it. You know, keep showing up for yourself every single day. I always tell my team, like, if this business was brought to you, like, God already told you yes. You don't need another one. Like, keep showing up every single day. And just like she said, like, it's not only impacting you, it's impacting the people around you. It's impacting your family. How many of you on here would love to be able to provide for your family? Provide for your parents, provide for people that you love so much, provide for the people that have given you everything that maybe don't have everything that they want. How many of you want to give your future family everything that they deserve? That's me. I mean, I don't have kids yet, and I know a lot of you on here don't, but I don't want to be able to sit here and say, sorry, y'all don't deserve it, or put them through what I went through growing up. I grew up probably a lot like Tara. I had 4 siblings. We had no money. Food stamps, government assistance, like $20 was like a lot of money. Like, I remember thinking, wow, if I become a nurse and I could make like $20 an hour, what? And now I'm over, I think I calculated it one time and it was like $175 an hour that you make as a presidential or something. I mean, it's something crazy. So like, stop living small. Go out there and do the big things that you want to do. It's not going to be easy, and that's why a lot of people don't do it. That's why a lot of people aren't successful. Like, that's why there's the top 1% of the country. It's because not many people will get back up fighting every single time. So if you could leave the team with one last tip, what would you leave them with?
That's a really good question.
Like what we talked about, or I mean, anything. Tip to maybe new distributors, people promoting.
See your vision and just know that as long as you never stop, you'll always get there. And don't give yourself a timeline. Like, don't tell yourself if you don't get it within this time frame, you're going to quit, because guaranteed something will come in your way that'll make that not happen. And just keep running as hard as you can. Because if you quit, nothing's going to change in your life. It just won't. If anything, you're going to be mad because the people that join at the same time as you are going to be rising up because they didn't quit, and you're going to be kicking yourself in the tail, wishing that you never stopped and you never listened to the clamor.
So good. Thank you so much for all of this. I know everybody just felt so inspired. I know I did. We love you so much. We're cheering you on to presidential. I know everybody wave at her. Tell her thank you.
Thank you for having me on, guys.
I hope y'all have a good night, and I will post this recording up on my YouTube. Bye.